Brian, why would you want to make the choice to sell your business internally to employees or family versus just finding an outside buyer and getting cashed out?
Yeah, there's a lot of small businesses that are going to be selling in these upcoming years because there's 2.5 million businesses owned by baby boomers in the United States right now. Baby boomers are getting to that age. On average, they're at retirement age, and so there's going to be a lot of transfers, I think, of businesses, of course, during this time. Now, generally, there's three areas or places you can sell your business. You can sell it to your family. You can sell it internally to key employees, or you can sell it, I would call, externally to neither of the above. So those are kind of the three categories. There's pluses and minuses to all three. Certainly with family, the plus is generational transfer and helping your kids out get into your business. So that might be extremely important to you. One of the negatives to that is you're probably not going to foreclose on them if they don't make the payment. They probably don't have the down payment, or they can't cash you out. So you're taking some risk on your own retirement that they're going to make the payments to you and run the business right. So there is that risk. Conversely, you can sell internally to key employees. Again, the negative might be they probably don't have the wherewithal, but you might be able to get people more apt to make that business successful. So maybe your kids are okay, but the general manager has been running it for years, is going to be really good at it. You might be more confident with that, and maybe they would have multiple buyers, so that lowers your risk a little bit that you'll get paid. And finally, selling externally, advantages and disadvantages. The big advantage is you probably can get cashed out or get a better price if you sell it externally. The negative is you're not going to have any legacy at all, probably. Your kids aren't in it. The people that helped you get there aren't part of the solution there. You're kind of out, so there's no generational transfer. But if that's not important to you, you might get a better price.
Brian, is it a lot easier to sell internally to family or employees than it is to find an outside cash buyer?
Well, it's easier in that you know who the buyer is, certainly. And depending on your business. Now, I will say that a lot of businesses aren't really businesses to sell. And what I mean by that is a lot of businesses are just jobs. So if you have a business and you know that if you leave for a month it fails or it makes no money, you probably have a job. Because when you leave, there isn't anything for someone else to pick up on. And so if you've got a business, though, that I call it a turnkey business, where you've made it so that you could leave and it goes along smoothly, that is a business. And if it's profitable, you probably have goodwill and you can sell that business either internally or externally.
Brian, typically if you're selling internally to family or you're selling to employees, how does the payment structure work? I mean, is it a down payment? How do you take payments in the future? How long is the contract?
It'd be nice to have a down payment, but often it's not. It's just a contract, it may be for 10 years or something like that. And the way that the buyer is basically getting gifted this amount, because if the profitability is there, their percentage of profit that they're getting is enough to make the payment and pay the taxes. So they're really not coming up with anything out of pocket. For the seller, they just are able to extend the amount of years that they can get payments from their own business, and maybe they can slow down and retire and still get payments for a period of time. So it can work well for both parties, where the buyer doesn't come up with any real money out of pocket, but they have to work the business, and the seller gets most of the money for a period of time, say 10 years, but doesn't have to work as hard going forward.
So if you sell the business externally, when that sale is made, that's cut, you're out completely. If you sell it internally or to family, is it typical for you to stay on for a while and sort of ease the transition of this business?
Yeah, it's certainly internally to stay on makes sense, and that would be negotiated. Externally, it's kind of a 50-50. They might require you to work for a couple of years, and keep you on for that reason, for the transition. But some companies just say, no, we're going to buy it, you're out. They might finance it, but often they might get an SBA loan or just write the check and buy you out, cash you out.
Brian, thanks for telling us more about selling your business internally to family or employees.